So let's talk about burnout. You know that feeling, right? When the fire just, poof, goes out. You've given everything you have and the tank is just empty. Today, we're going to dive into what burnout really is, and maybe, most importantly, how we can start to find our way back. I mean, have you ever felt that? That just bone deep exhaustion? It really is like a pilot light has been snuffed out inside you. And it's a feeling that goes way, way deeper than just needing a good night's sleep. And that is the key distinction, isn't it? This is not just being tired. We're talking about burnout. It's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that comes from being under way too much stress for way too long. And hey, if this is hitting home for you, just know you are so not alone. This is a very, very real thing. All right, section one, when the fire goes out. To really wrap our heads around this, let's go back, way back, to a really powerful ancient story about burnout. It's the story of the prophet Elijah, and believe me, it shows just how deep this feeling can cut. And what's so fascinating about this story is that burnout, well, it doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about your status or your title. I mean, Elijah was this figure of immense power, right? A lot of expectations on his shoulders. And yet, right after this huge moment of intense pressure, bam, he just hits a wall. And I mean, he hits it so hard that he wants to give it all up. Just think about the weight of those words for a second. This wasn't just him having a bad day. Nope. This was a total system collapse. He was so depleted, so completely spent, that his only wish was for an exit. That right there is the voice of burnout at its most raw. Okay, section two, permission to be human. So what do we do with a story like that? Well, the very first step, and it's a big one, is to reframe how we even see burnout, because it's not a personal failure. It's a deeply, deeply human experience. It's so easy to feel guilty about being exhausted, isn't it? I think so many of us carry that weight. We live in this culture that's just obsessed with productivity, and so exhaustion can feel like you failed somehow, like you're just not strong enough. And all that guilt, it just piles on, making the burnout even heavier. Just look at these two examples. On one side, you've got Elijah's complete collapse, wanting to give up entirely. And on the other, you have the story of Jesus just being tired out from a long journey, needing to just sit down by a well. It's such a powerful reminder, right? Experiencing our limits, it's a universal part of being human. It happens to everyone. So let's just get this straight. Burnout is not a moral failing. It's not a spiritual failing. It's a biological and a psychological signal that you've pushed way past your capacity. It's a sign that you are human. And accepting that, really letting that sink in, that's the first real step toward healing. All right, let's get practical. Section three, 3 steps to recovery. So we've kind of defined the problem, we've looked at it, but how do we actually start to recover? Let's break down 3 really practical steps for finding your way back, drawing from the wisdom in these stories. Okay. Here are the 3 steps, simple but powerful. Step 1, honor the stop. Step 2, look for unseen sustenance. And step 3, test the lies of burnout. So let's walk through what each of these really means. First up, honor the stop. When Jesus felt exhausted, he didn't try to power through for another 5 miles. He just stopped. In psychology, they actually have a term for this. It's called radical acceptance. It's about acknowledging your limits, right here, right now, without any judgment. So when you feel tired out, maybe the most powerful thing you can do is just give yourself permission to stop. Okay, next up, we have to deal with that feeling of being soul hungry. Because physical rest is absolutely vital, but burnout depletes us on a much deeper level too. We need what the source material here calls unseen sustenance. So the real question for you becomes, what truly replenishes you? Beyond just sleep, what are those quiet sources of meaning that actually refill your well? And finally, step 3. This one is all about challenging the thoughts that keep us trapped. See, burnout, it has a specific voice, and it's a voice of absolutes. It whispers things like, I'll never feel better, or it will always be this way. This all or nothing thinking, it's a total trap. So how do you get out of that trap? You have to confront those lies with truth. We literally have to remind ourselves that our value is not tied to our productivity. We have to believe that this feeling isn't permanent. We have to know deep down that we are enough, just as we are. As the source reminds us, the truth will set you free. And that freedom, it starts by challenging these twisted thoughts. Okay, let's look ahead, section 4, the path forward. So what does this path forward actually look like? How does recovery really begin? Well, it might be a lot quieter than you think. Elijah, he eventually found his way back, but it wasn't through some dramatic, loud earthquake. It was through rest and what the text calls a gentle whisper. And that's such a powerful metaphor, isn't it? Recovery is often quiet, it's gentle, it's slow. It's about finding stillness, not trying to force some huge breakthrough. And look, if you take only one thing away from all this today, please let it be this. This is your permission slip. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to be human. And you are absolutely 100% allowed to rest. So I'll just leave you with this thought. Jesus stopped by a well. Elijah rested under a tree. Recovery really begins the moment we decide to honor our need for rest. So the only question left is, where is your well? What is that place, or that practice, or maybe even that person that allows you to just stop, breathe, and begin to recover?